Barack and Michelle Obama have been one of the world's most famous couples since he became US president, which was 17 years ago.
Oh,
wow. Now, their relationship is facing public scrutiny, with people raising concerns that they were last publicly seen together 5 months ago. They could have been sitting on the couch watching Netflix for 5 months, but anyway, they've last publicly seen together.
But you hate that word, concerned. It's
like
you're
so
really concerned.
And it's also been highlighted that Michelle didn't accompany Barack to the state funeral of the previous US President, Jimmy Carter, and she has announced that she will not be attending Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday.
Good for her.
So...
She probably saw the seating list. No, she's a strong, powerful woman. Her speech during election time was the best speech. She was amazing.
She's an amazing
orator. And she stepped up and she faced it a bit because she's had to take so much abuse. I think she's gone, that's it.
It's so difficult, though, isn't it? Because in one way, I agree, and you think, well, what's it got to do with us? We don't actually know what's going on. And we saw how intrusive things became with Kate Middleton, where she was forced to put out a statement. And you don't want to think that anyone would have their hand forced in a situation like that. But she's a public figure. You know, they have shown their relationships. They have done interviews together. They have been on podcasts together. She's a former First Lady. Is it in the job description? You know, is it in public interest? If we have access to them in a capacity that we don't to other relationships.
Well, I mean, I think absolutely you're right. If we think back to Kate Middleton, you think of the speculation that led up to that about the state of their marriage and what was going on, and it got really, really unpleasant, particularly on social media, of course. And then, of course, we get the news that she'd been diagnosed with cancer. And my goodness, did you see people back off from that point of view. But the point that Nadia makes, concerns. I mean, let's not be naive. This is politically motivated, isn't it? Because there are people for whom they would like to see the Obamas split up. They would like to see tension because they don't like the fact that they've been the perfect couple. So, you know, I do think if you look at the motivation behind it, I find it pretty unpleasant. But people do talk about relationships, don't they? It's just, I'm sure they've spoken about, well, they speak about your relationship, Frankie, or whatever, and I don't know how you insulate yourself from that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we do. But I think there's something different between, like, you chatting to your mates and being like, oh, obviously just not really been around, wonder what's going on there, you know, to, like, it being this big public thing. But I think, yeah, they've been open about their relationship and when it's been good and stuff, but even if it was bad, why do they have to talk about it until they've figured everything out? You know, why do we need to know? I think, you know, obviously, I don't claim to be anything like the Obamas. But, you know, you do have it, like, if I've not put Wayne on Instagram for a bit, everyone's like, oh, Wayne's not been in any pictures lately. Where's he gone? Whoa, what's happened? And I'm like, first of all, he hates having his picture taken and he doesn't really do social media. And secondly, like, I see him every blooming day. If I don't wish him a happy birthday on Instagram, it's not that I've, like, completely ignored him. Like, I live with him. I have his phone number, you know, and it's like that with friends.
I take him
like,
croissants in bed, you know.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, well, one of us, if I don't say happy birthday, Kay, on your birthday, I've got your number. Do you know what I mean?
But you didn't even message me.
No, I do try and ignore you as much as possible. But we don't really do red carpets and stuff like that for that reason, because I'm just like, people know we were together, we don't have to ram it down people's throat. And I do think it gives you that extra layer of pressure. And relationships are harder, marriages are harder.
But it's funny, last week we were talking sort of a similar thing, and Grace was here, GK Barry, and obviously she's younger. She's quite a bit younger than you, actually, Frankie, now that
I'm aware. Sorry about that.
No, but she was saying, like, in a new relationship, it's a thing. You're not official until you are Instagram official.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, it's kind of the way that relationships start off now. There has to be a public face of a relationship.
I think the more public you are, whatever your job, the kind of more in danger the relationship is. I think when you say, like, actually, we just talk to each other in real life, that seems a bit more authentic. Whereas when you follow people that post every single move in the relationship, it almost says to me something's not quite right there.
Really? Does that mean we're old that we think like that?
Speak for yourself. I think especially when something's been set up as a perfect relationship, because a perfect relationship is an imperfect relationship, with all the problems with it and fighting through it and all of that. I mean, Mark and I have been doing a marriage podcast for years, and because we're so honest, we'll turn up and people are more surprised that we're still together. And I like it that way, rather than... And, you know, like, if I do an anniversary post, I will start it with saying, this has been really, really hard, and yet here we still are. But I worry that young people feel that pressure, that they've got to look what is perfect? What does it mean? One person.
It doesn't exist.
And then you're on a roller coaster that you can't get off. I mean, you say they've shown us their perfect relationship, but I'm sure the Obamas would just say, well, we're just married and we talk together. Do you know, they're not aware they're showing a perfect relationship. They're just a couple.
They are very, very smart, aren't they? So they will be aware that there is a public face of their relationship. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a nice picture up soon of them, you know, doing something.
I think it's just fundamentally misogynistic. I really do. I'm really praying that she has just said, I am not going to that man's inauguration. I'm done. Well, that's what I'd do if I was married to Obama. I'm not going.
Yeah, I know you would. I know you would. I believe you. Let's talk about how old Frankie's getting. Come on. 36 this week, chicken.
Yeah, also, I made the mistake of saying to someone here last week, she was like, how old are you turning? And I was like, 24.
What, you lied?
Literally, no, by accident. It just came out. And then I was like, no, I'm not. I'm 36. So I was like, internally, maybe that's what I was
turning into a liar like me.
Feel like that, you know, it's just a number.
Yeah. But you didn't go and celebrate with Wayne. It wasn't in terms of, like, it wasn't the romantic meal or like the weekend away, the sort of traditional thing. So we are people introducing the first in an occasional series, perhaps the only. It's Frankie's Rage Room. Oh, nice.
Oh, my God,
Tell us more, Frankie.
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like this year I've been on a bit of like I know, boring January, but like I've been really trying to be healthy and look after myself, and one of those things is not drinking. And I was like, what can I do that doesn't revolve around, you know, when everyone says like, oh, do you want to go for lunch, do you want to go for dinner? It always revolves around drinking one way or another.
Yeah.
So
and you've never been a big drinker.
No, not at all. So I was like, what can we do? And Wayne and I had seen ages ago this thing called a rage room. So you basically go in and you just smash loads of stuff up.
Oh, what, just with a hammer?
Like what kind of...
Look at you!
Hammer.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was a TV.
Looks like a full-on job.
Oh!
I wasn't very good at that bit.
You don't look very protected.
No, I wasn't very.
mask.
Yeah. It turns out, you know, when you see people on films and stuff, when they go like that, they go on the edge of a table and they smash a glass.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do that. Very, very hard. But basically, Wayne and I, when we first met,
a random shed, sort of like smashing up.
What a day!
It didn't really turn out how I expected. I thought we'd be in all this gear. We weren't. It was like a shed at the back of a pub. When we first turned up, the man opened the door to the pub with plastic gloves on, and I was like, we're dead. It was very strange, but it just added to it. But when
we wanted to be playful.
Yeah,
it wasn't
when
really
we
about
first
being
met,
angry.
we used to do like Wayne always used to. Something that I loved about him was we always used to do fun dates. You know, we always used to go somewhere. We'd do quad biking, axe throwing, whatever, loads of different things, and I loved that. And somewhere along the way, you know, between kids and life and whatever, we've not had time to do that. So I was like, we've been saying we're going to do this for ages, and I was like, that's all I want to do. I just want to go there and do that. And we had so much fun.
Marriage guidance tips. We forget, like, to be playful with each other. And people will say on your anniversary, oh, go away for a nice weekend to a country hotel, and everybody's thinking, oh, my God, the pressure. I've got to have lots of da-da all weekend, and I've got to be my best. I've got to have my lingerie. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Whereas get muddy, get silly, get playful is going to bring you back and let you feel a bit
I
like
love
yourself.
the muddy, or the playful, not the muddy. Where are we going with this?
She loves a mud whistle.
But for me, personally, I just would get nothing from smashing things. I'd walk in that shed and I don't want to smash things up.
Do you not get rageful?
I don't want to smash.
I don't actually.
No road rage?
No, I really don't think I do. I mean, I probably did as I was younger, but I don't know, I'm shakes and shake, I've still got a pulse. But I just don't feel that rage. That wouldn't do anything. I mean, do you?
It would take me a lot to go to a state of rage, because I think anger and rage are, you know,
very different things.
Yeah, you can get angry about things. If I saw, I don't know, social injustice, somebody that didn't have a platform to speak out, I'd get angry, get behind them. I'd turn it into something productive, where I would try and channel that anger into some kind of campaigning or changing. But I think if I was rageful, I would be destructive, and I might be irrational.
Well, see, I think that's destructive, and that's why
she
I'm
is
not
very
so...
destructive.
Yeah.
No.
But that's kind of what it's for. For me, it's kind of going into there is I'm not rageful. I just thought you don't ever really get to smash things up.
But you might.
And actually, a couple of things I did.
I think it's naughtiness.
Yes.
It's about being naughty.
A couple of things I smashed it and I went, oh, I got nothing from that. That's another one. Got nothing from that. You know, like it is.
Come here, Wayne. Let me give you a kick.
Come on. Yeah, kicked Wayne. Everything was great, actually. Yeah, but I'm not naturally.
No, I know.
But I think if you think of it, like I once, by accident, went with you to the most terrible workout session in a car park, and then another time I went with you to a cycling thing where you're just standing, you're just in a, and it's like. It's that. It's a release of... And you get a real buzz from that. I mean, I don't. I hate that sort of thing. I just feel like that was a waste of my time. It's horrible. But it's the same thing. It's a release. I think the rage... Yeah. And we've all got stuff we're unhappy about.
Are you rageful, then?
Every day I'm rageful.
Oh, you
I
don't give rageful vibes at all.
Oh,
but she's very... strong, passionate.
Yeah, no, I have real rage. There was no shame in my family to have rage.
OK.
You know, we could have rage and then just go back to being normal. Yeah, you just get everything out.
How very un-British of them.
I know, it's like you lot. God, you're English, you have to go to a room and smash things up. Well, I just stay in my sitting room and scream at everyone.
It is interesting, though, there is such a thing as a rage room. I mean, we did ask people, do you feel angrier than you did before, maybe 5 years ago, whatever, and 61% of people said that they did. So there is that kind of feeling out there of people being angry.
Pandemic, worry problems. I mean, the world's gone mad. You know, people are more angry.
Just get yourself in a rage room and sort yourself out. Wrap it up.